Good morning to all. Myself, Mrs. P. Deepika, Assistant Professor of History, Vellalar College for Women, Erode. Today I am going to discuss about the topic Russian Revolution. Russian Revolution, otherwise called Bolshevik Revolution. The Russian Revolution was a period of political and social change in Russia that began in 1917. It ended the Romanov dynasty and centuries of Russian imperial rule. In this period, Russia abolished its monarchy form and adopted a socialist republican form of government. First, we will see about the causes of Russian Revolution. The first cause is oppressive rule and backwardness of the country. Oppressive rule and backwardness of the country formed an important cause of discontent among the people. Russia remained a backward country in spite of the Europeanization introduced by Peter the Great and Catherine II. The main feature of Tsarist ruling in Russia is nagged autocracy, feudalism, illiteracy, and ignorance. Nearly 70% of peoples were illiterate. So it created discontentment to the people. The second cause is entry of new ideas. Intellectual writers and activists played a crucial role in shaping public opinion in Russia. Mainly, Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels introduced revolutionary socialism in the minds of Russian people. In cities, particularly Marxist ideas spread rapidly. Nihilism also entered Russia side by side with socialism. Nihilists, they were called destroyers. They wanted to destroy the Tsar government and their activities. In the same times, anarchism was also influenced in the minds of people. It also preached government was an evil and it should be overthrown. And the next cause is misery of the people. The condition of people was miserable. There was grinding poverty. Tsar and nobles enjoyed all the good things of life. The people faced only imprisonment, exile, censorship, spying, and torture. In the field of agriculture, the agriculturists had no necessary capital, tools, equipments. Their life was miserable. And the next, factory workers. The factory workers' life also miserable because long hours of work, poor wages, lack of facilities. And also, Tsar introduced the organization of pogrom. The main work of the organization was watch over the activities of people and impeach the torture and liquidation. The activities of the organization struck terror into the hearts of people. Overall, the Russian people's life so miserable. And the next cause is Russo-Japanese War. In the year 1904 to 1905, Russo-Japanese was conducted. The Russia was defeated in this war. The defeat of Russia is created great discontentment among the people because Japan was a small country which was a great contrast to the Russia, a big country and a great power. The people believed that the main reason of the defeat because of inefficient and corrupt government. So they wanted to uproot it and should not be allowed to further exploit the people of the country. And next causes, the main causes, Russian Revolution of 1905. Father Capon made a peaceful demonstration at St. Petersburg in Jan 15, 1905. The main reason of the demonstration to express their woes of poverty and misery to the government. But Nicholas II aggressively handled the situation. The result was everywhere anti-Tsarist movement broke out. In this time, Nicholas II was forced to make a concession. He promised to create a parliament known as Duma under some restriction. But later on, Tsar was not seriously about keeping his promise. Later on, the government adopted high-handed measures to crush the people. The revolution of 1905 ended failure, but it created hope of success to the next revolution. And next, the important cause of the Russian Revolution is the First World War. The First World War broke out in 1917. Tsar could not solve the problem of his own country, but he joined the war on the side of England and France. The Russian people suffered in the country and soldiers died on the warfront because incompetent and corrupt generals. It must kindle the flame of revolution. In this manner, the Russian Revolution was broke out in Russia in 1917. Next, we will see about the courses of the revolution. The eve of the revolutions, there were three main parties in Russia. The Constitutional Democrats, it represents the middle class. Next, Social Revolutionary, it represents the peasants. And next, Social Democrats, it represents the industrial workers. The Social Democrats subsequently got split into two, Bolshevik and Menshevik. Bolshevik is a majority and Menshevik minority. The Bolshevik represent the extremist section and Menshevik the moderates. The revolution was brought about by the Social Democrats. Russia had two revolutions in 1917. First one in March 1917, the first put Kerensky, the Menshevik leader, in the power. Second in November 1917, the second made Lenin, the Bolshevik leader, as the dictator of Russia. The first revolution is revolution in March 1917. Thus, a great revolution broke out. Lack of workers in Petrograd agitate against the autocratic rule of the Tsar. The Cossack patrols who made common cause with the people said on March 9, 1917 that they would not obey the order of firing on the people. On March 12, 1917, the household guards rebelled and shot dead several officers. Many regiments also mutinied. They sieged the arsenal and handed over arms and ammunition to the revolutionaries. Prisoners were set free. The fortresses of St. Peter's and St. Paul surrendered. The Duma elected a provisional government of 12 members. All armies which came to the capital joined the revolutionaries. The meeting was held between Duma committee with Alexander Kerensky and the Extremist Council of Workmen's and Soldiers delegates or Soviet. Both of them made proclamations. The Duma committee proclaimed a constitutional monarchy and the Revolutionary Committee proclaimed a republican type of government. Finally accepted the constitutional monarchy. The coalition government of center and the left was established under Prince George Levon and Kerensky. Kerensky, the Menshevik leader, appealed to the Soviet to support the government till the end of the First World War. The provisional government was recognized by the Allied powers as it agreed to continue to take part in the war. The Menshevik, who formed the moderate minority under Kerensky, favored a liberal democracy. The Bolshevik, who formed the aggressive majority, wished to have radical reform and to withdraw from the war. They cried out, "Peace, bread, land." Civil war broke out between the Menshevik and Bolshevik. The next revolution was started in November 1917. The people who were becoming more and more dissatisfied in the form of government were attracted towards the Bolsheviks. They were eager to come out of the war and have radical reforms under the leadership of Lenin. The Bolshevik enjoined a second revolution. He had in mind a revolutionary program to change the entire complexion of Russia. The main point of this program included the following. First one, establishment of revolutionary Bolshevik government under overthrowing the provisional government of Menshevik. And second program is withdrawal from the World War. And third, nationalization of factories, big estate and other key means of protection without paying any compensation. Removal of all political party and right from the hands of the proletariat classes. The new coalition government was formed. In May 1917, a new coalition government was formed. This changed the war commanders. Kerensky tried his best to maintain discipline in the army. But the military revolution was broke out. Trotsky, the great Bolshevik leader, tried to strengthen the military power of Bolshevik. He formed a military revolutionary committee. On November 5, 1917, this committee tried to capture command of the Petrograd army. Side by side, on November 7, 1917, the Bolshevik under Lenin established headquarters in the suburb and proclaimed that they formed a ruling party. Bolshevik government. On November 8, the Bolshevik party formed a council of people's commissions to run the government. Lenin was its president, Trotsky the foreign minister, and Kirilenko the commander-in-chief of the army. After the formation of government on March 3, 1918, Russia, eager to come out of the World War, signed with Germany the peace treaty of Brest-Litovsk. So in this manner, the Russia is overcome with First World War. Russia had to pay a heavy price to buy peace and surrender to Germany a huge chunk of territories, including Eastern Poland, Ukraine, Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia. Lenin introduced revolutionary reforms in Russia. The secret police organization known as Cheka 1970 to 21 arrested all those whom it suspected and shoot them to death. The Chaka was replaced in 1921 by the OGPU. It was only a change in name. The character and method of both were almost the same. Great economic and social changes were introduced. The privileges of upper classes were removed. The houses and the property of the rich were confiscated. The state became the owner of all lands, forests, mines, railways, banks, factories, and all important means of protections or take over the government. No compensation was given to the rich who wasted property was seized. All the debts of the old government was repudiated. The capital was shifted from Petrograd to Moscow. And next, Russian communists known as Bolsheviks functioned through Soviet or councils. The National Congress of Soviet framed a constitution in July 1918 under which the country was called Federal Republic of Soviet of Workers, Soldiers and Peasants Delegates. The clergy, nobles, burgesses had no right to vote. Franchise was given to all male and female citizens over 18 years old doing protective work. And then we will see about the result. The great political and constitutional changes were occurred. After the revolution, the monarchy form of government was ended. Russia became a republic and communist dictatorship was established. In July 1918, Lenin proclaimed the first constitution of Russia, Socialist Federated Republic. The beginning of new constitution changes were introduced after revolution. Russia were created one-party nation. They established totalitarian state. And then next result is social and economic changes. Society was reorganized and many of the protections were brought under state control. And next main result is Russia emerged as a great power. Russia became a very powerful state which could play a vital role in the international field. After the revolution, Soviet Russia developed imperialist plan and tried to spread her influence all over the world. Thank you.